Herzlich willkommen zum InTaKT Festival 2020. Ich befinde mich hier im Haus 2 des Schauspielhaus Graz. InTaKT Online bedeutet, dass das Festival in diesem Jahr leider nicht physisch stattfinden kann. Wir können uns nicht im Theaterraum treffen, auch nicht im Tau, auch nicht im Kristallwerk, auch nicht im Schauspielhaus, auch nicht im Frieda und Fred, leider. Aber es gibt einige Sachen online verfügbar, Inszenierungsaufzeichnungen und Filme, die Sie während des ganzen Festivals abrufen können, wann Sie möchten. Wir freuen uns sehr, dass die Eröffnung in diesem Jahr Gravity von Unlabel aus Köln gewesen wäre, aber sie ist es immer noch. Und wir sind ganz stolz, dass diese Mixed-Abled-Gruppe, die international arbeitet und die Beeinträchtigung als einen Mehrwert für die Kunst sieht, bei InTaKT dabei ist. Und wir freuen uns, wenn Sie im Anschluss an dieses Video dabei sind, wenn es online läuft. Uma und wir ist ein Film der deutschen Dokumentarfilmerin Tabea Hosche. Ihr Kind Uma ist mit einem Gendefekt auf die Welt gekommen und sie dokumentiert, also Tabea dokumentiert in ihren Filmen das Leben ihrer Familie mit Uma und mit ihrer Beeinträchtigung. Es ist wirklich schön, was aus Kindern mit Beeinträchtigung auch werden kann, wenn man sie lässt. Ein weiterer Spielort wäre in diesem Jahr das Theater am Ortweinplatz gewesen. Das Tau. Mein Kollege Christoph sitzt jetzt dort und schauen wir mal, wie es bei ihm aussieht.
Ja, vielen lieben Dank, Lina. Herzlich willkommen auch von meiner Seite. Ich stehe hier im leeren Theater am Ortweinplatz, dem Tau, mitten auf der Bühne. Leider bin ich heute alleine hier. Wir haben ganz viele spannende Programmpunkte gehabt, die hier hätten stattfinden sollen. Wir freuen uns, dass wir einen großen Teil von diesen Programmpunkten auch online zur Verfügung stellen können. Ja, es sind zum Beispiel die Inszenierungsaufzeichnungen von Disabled Theater, von Jerome Bell und Theater Hora oder zum Beispiel Genghis Khan von Monster Truck und Theater Tikva. Das sind zwei Meilensteine im Bereich der inklusiven Theater, der inklusiven Künste und wir freuen uns sehr, dass wir beide auch zeigen können. Wir hätten hier sehr gerne auch eine Modestrecke präsentiert und zwar hat die Akademie Graz im gemeinsamen Projekt Kultur inklusiv im Rahmen vom Kulturjahr 2020-21 der Stadt Graz ein Lifestyle-Magazin herausgebracht, in dem Menschen mit Beeinträchtigungen in die Hauptrollen schlüpfen. Die beeindruckenden Ergebnisse und die Fotoshootings hätten wir hier gerne ausgestellt und darüber hinaus auch die Models eingeladen, sich und die Mode zu präsentieren. Leider ist es nicht möglich, aber es gibt ein paar Möglichkeiten, die Models und die Bilder, die man auch käuflich erwerben kann, online zu betrachten. Und es freut mich sehr, dass unser Kollege Matthias Grasser auch als Model mitgearbeitet hat. Und der Matthias sitzt jetzt im Kristallwerk Graz.
Ich bin gerade im Kristallwerk und hier würde am Sonntag die Dance Company stattfinden. Und das wird online basieren und es gibt von denen exklusive Aufnahmen der Proben, die wir euch online zeigen. InTaKT ist eröffnet.
Und jetzt viel Spaß bei Gravity.
Willkommen bei Gravity with Our Attractions, einer Tanztheater-Performance. Es werden eine Tänzerin und ein Tänzer auftreten, Lolo und Tiki. Die beiden werden immer da sein, auch wenn man sie manchmal nicht sieht oder hört. Licht an. Die Bühne hat einen 5 x 5 Meter großen weißen Boden und eine weiße Rückwand. Im hinteren Teil der Bühne stehen 2 weiße Würfel dicht nebeneinander. Es handelt sich um eine reine und makellose Bühne, auf die minimalistische Bilder projiziert werden, die immer eng mit dem gesprochenen Text verbunden sind. Grundlage dieser Aufführung ist eine poetische, künstlerisch integrierte Audiodeskription in englischer Sprache. Das bedeutet, die Bewegung inspirierte Worte und Worte inspirierten die Bewegung. Die beschreibende Sprache ist die Inspiration, die verbale Übersetzung und der gesprochene Text der Performance. Wenn Sie keinen Zugang zu einem oder mehreren der künstlerischen Elemente in dieser Performance haben oder diese nicht vollständig wahrnehmen können, wurden alle anderen künstlerischen Elemente gleichermaßen entwickelt, um Brücken für die Wahrnehmung zu schaffen. Sie alle erzählen die gleiche Geschichte, auf ihre eigene Art und Weise. Welcome to Gravity and Other Attractions, a dance theater performance. There will be 2 dancers performing, Lolo and Tiki. They will always be there, even if at times you don't see or hear them.
Lights on. The stage is 5 by 5 white floor and white background. 2 white cubes are standing close to each other on the far side. It is a pure and spotless stage on which minimalistic images will be projected, always closely connected to the text. At the base of this performance is a poetic, artistically integrated audio description in English. This means the movement inspired words and words inspired the movement. The descriptive language is the inspiration, the verbal translation, and the spoken text of the performance. If you don't have access to one or more of the artistic elements in this performance, or can fully perceive them, all the other artistic elements are equally developed to create bridges for perception. They all tell the same story, in their own way.
My name is Lolo. The person sitting next to me is Tiki. I like to describe things. That's how I am. I am a white woman with a proud costume. I have fiery Venetian blonde hair hanging over my shoulders. I have green eyes and some freckles on my face. I'm 38 years old, but I'm young. Tiki is sitting next to me. I am not looking at him, though I know he's a man in his late 30s with dark skin and deep brown eyes. He has black crisp hair tied up in a bun, and he's smiling. He's moving his hands, making signs. Right now, probably describing me as I am describing him. Probably saying the same things that I am saying from his perspective, in his own way. So here we are, among 1,000 strangers, on our way to somewhere we belong. This is what we met for the first time, sitting next to each other in a subway train.
Stillness, silence. Our hands start drifting up, moving slowly to meet. Then they fall. I can feel a slight touch of his breath brushing my cheek like a breeze. Again, our hands start drifting up and reach slowly and carefully, then they freeze. And then they start floating. They feel lighter and lighter. Our feet, our knees, our waists lifted. Our arms, our shoulders, our necks lifted. Our heads and hairs and everything around us slowly but surely loses touch with gravity. Everything lifts, loses its weight. The rails on which we are driving, the steel wheels of the train, the floor, the seats, the lights, the poles, the handles, the ticket machine, the windows and their frames, the walls, the ceiling, the people. They all slowly become weightless as we feel everything and everybody around us lifting up. As we lose touch with gravity, we shift our balance. We attract each other, look for composure. In our own time, in our own space, from our own perspective. We float, lose ourselves and our bodies as we lose our weight. We are lighter and lighter, following each other round a circle of attraction. We come closer, spiral towards each other. We are driven to the center of this weightless space. We attract and we almost touch, but not yet. I explode, break into pieces. I lose my parts, blast into space. I am a million particles. Then I recombine, take a new shape. I become a drop of water. I am a drop of water that lands in the ocean. I break the unbreakable water surface. I am the wind and rain that set the water in motion. I am the wrinkle which becomes a ripple, which becomes a wave. I get higher and wider as I take in water and crash into other waves. I take new shapes and life awakes inside me. I'm a single floating cell in a sea creature. I breathe and I glide and I swirl. I'm a reptile with claws and a beak, and I crawl, and as I move, I evolve, I stand up, I become a great strong beast. I run across the land, so fast and so lean that I can jump, and my arms become wings, and I fly and I run and I rush and I glide, and then my paws become hands and feet, and my beak becomes a mouth, and from my eyes and from my pores come a drop which rests on my skin. It is a drop of water holding everything I am inside. This is my stop. This is where I get off. I go. I freeze. Come back. He goes. He freezes. Comes back. I go. I freeze. Come back. We go. We freeze. Come back. Go. Freeze. Back. Go, freeze, back. I take his seat, he wants mine. I tease, I taunt, I play. He moves, I follow. I move, he follows. We move. We tease, we taunt, we play. We smile, we chase, pursue. We please, we flaunt, we sway. I get up, get pulled away. He signals me, I can feel it. He's calling me, he's waving. I blindly navigate myself in his glance. I need to find a language. I need to say the right thing. I think I'm ready. I think I'm afraid. I'm ready. I turn around, but he's gone. Where are you? You're standing next to me, yet you are on the other side of the world. We have to break out of these invisible boxes. Don't go. I need you here. I'm waiting. Don't you feel my signals? I'm calling you, I'm waving. It's your turn now to take the steps. Come closer. Stop hesitating, please disturb my peace, invade my space. Be bold, be fearless, I'm waiting for you. He's standing on the edge of my attention. I feel how he's somehow still calling, still waving. But there's an emptiness that surrounds me. It wraps itself around my head, squeezes my knees into my chest, presses my arms around my neck. A barrier of silence is isolating me. I look for him. I follow in his footsteps. Now we are both exploring the edge of the space, exploring the outer limits of our connection. We walk the same road, stand on the border of the same square, look for balance on the same tightrope. We keep looking for each other. We change positions. Now I am on the edge, and he's in the center of my imagination. Solo, by himself, as if he were alone on the moon. This is him, on his knees. He's trying to get a hold of the future that is laying at his feet, the future that is pointing right at him. There is a silence inside his body, lingering, skipping, sliding, turning, rising, flipping, tilting. He stands up, his doubt is swaying in the wind, as if he were lost in the city center and rain was pouring down his face. There is a turbulence in his hands, taking over his body, freezing his thoughts. And then his hand starts leading him back to the present. Step by step, almost mechanically, he returns as gravity pulls him back down into his seat. And I take a step, a risk. I look at him, look away, sit down next to him. This is us, sitting in a subway train. This is us, walking different ways. This is us, running in the dark, back and forth, shoulder to shoulder, running in the dark, forth and back, hand in hand. birds. Here we were flying to the moon. This is us spooning in our bed. That's me looking up at him. Here we are lying on the shore. And here we were dancing in the rain. This is when I was hanging over his head. Oh, here we got lost in the city center. This is me lifting his spirits. And this is when we were shooting for the stars. Here we are waiting for the train to nowhere. And this is him sitting on my lap. This is us driving home on a motorbike. Here we are collecting water from a spring. And this is him pouring it over my face. This is him pulling my strings. And then I tripped him. This is us sticking to our point. Here we are listening to each other. And here we are looking to each other. This is us looking at you, like looking at a piece of art. Here I put a smile on his face. This is us walking away.
This is us being apart. I am thinking of him. I imagine him telling a story with his hands, his body and his arms. I imagine him telling the story of how we met, how we are always meeting at different places in different moments. I wonder how he describes our story. Would he describe us as two people sitting next to each other in a subway train? Or would he describe us as a daydream? A figment of imagination, two particles floating around drops of water defying the law of nature. I wonder how he describes me. Would he describe me as if I were a picture? Would he say that I'm always aware of my balance when I walk, how my body is light? Would he describe me as if I were the wind blowing through his mind and that he's a tree, and we are always carrying each other, even when we are apart? Would he say that I don't need to see him or be with him to know what he's saying?
He is standing strong like a tree. His arms are blowing in the wind. I duck to evade his swinging branches. His arms I follow. They pull my chest back and forth, drawn by the invisible strings, bridging the space between us. I twirl. I'm the wind. I attract him with my fluidity. We reflect each other, always connected by the invisible strings. We are wind and tree. We set each other in motion. He stands his ground, waves his crown of leaves. I play under the cover of his branches. Connected by our feet, our roots. My body is like his moving shadow. We swirl, we suspend, we hold this moment, we hold our breath, then we go back in time. We swirl, my body is like his moving shadow, connected by our feet, our roots. We reflect each other. I attract him with my fluidity. I play under the cover of his branches. He stands his ground, waves his crown of leaves. Drawn by the invisible strings, bridging the space between us. His arms I follow. They pull my chest back and forth. I duck to evade his swinging branches. His arms are blowing in the wind, back and forth. He is standing strong like a tree. I duck to evade his swinging branches. Back and forth, drawn by the invisible strings. I twirl. I attract him with my fluidity. We are wind and tree. He stands his ground. I play under the cover of his branches. My body is like his moving shadow. We swirl. We hold our breath. Then we go back in time. My body is like his moving shadow. I attract him with my fluidity. He stands his ground. Drawn by the invisible strings, bridging the space between us. His arms I follow. They pull my chest back and forth. I duck to evade his swinging branches. His arms are blowing in the wind. He is standing strong like a tree. The invisible strings still bind us. Our eyes meet. All fades, there is only us standing straight towards each other. Our eyes are hooked. We aim, we release. There is just a breath of air between us. Then we melt onto the floor. And again our eyes, Hooked. Aim. Release. Breath. Melt. We intensify, facing each other and our own fragility. We fall one by one. We fail together. This time he catches me, and I catch him. Little by little we discover we can break each other's fall, as long as we can fall together. We can share our breath and our weight. We can crush into each other. We let go, set each other free, trek back into the present.
We are two people, still, sitting next to each other in a subway train, where we met for the first time. I'm still Lolo, and the person next to me is still Tiki. We travel together in time, on a trek to nowhere. Everywhere, this is how we perceive. From our own perspective, in our own way. Connected by invisible strings, there is nothing we can do apart. In our minds, we move. We crave, we attract. We have a prologue of silence before we touch.
Viele weitere Programmpunkte findet ihr online unter www.intakt-festival.at, verfügbar bis Sonntag, den 8.11.2020. Wir danken auch unseren Fördergebern und Kooperationspartnerinnen für ihre Unterstützung.